Well, actually, he's not in prison for that. He didn't. Warren Jeffs didn't marry underage girls.
No, he's in prison for facilitation of child.
Whatever the hell that means.
That means
he's in prison. He's in prison because he's weird and unpopular, and he has a different lifestyle that other people find creepy.
No, he's an accessory to the rape of children. That is a felony, and a serious one at that.
What do you mean an accessory? He's like got some weird religious cult where he thinks it's okay to, marry underage girls, but he didn't do it. Why wouldn't the guy who actually did it, who had sex with an underage girl, he should be the one who's doing life?
I mean, we're all familiar with the type of background that Tucker Carlson comes from and the fact that he's basically just the highest paid acting news anchor in terms of him literally being an actor. He just shows up and reads and he gets paid a boatload of money for it, and he doesn't really care about the issues. But I think this video is a real open-eye look into the fact that he really doesn't have any real principles and he doesn't really care about any issues seriously, because defending something like this is just really unnecessary, especially for someone who's where he is in life. It's not like he's a very young man who's still, discovering things. Tucker Carlson is married, he has kids, he's in his 50s, maybe his 60s, pushing there around that. And he's been incredibly wealthy his entire life. And so he's never really been that strongly attached to very many issues that he couldn't just pay his way out of. So again, he's talking about somebody else being weird and creepy, but it's clear that Tucker Carlson is pretty weird, and I'll touch a little bit more light on that in a sec.
The rapist in this case has made a lifelong commitment to live and take care of the person, so it is a little different. I mean, let's be honest about it. He's not accused of touching anybody. He is accused of facilitating a marriage between a 16-year-old girl and a 27-year-old man. That's the accusation. That's what they're calling felony.
In our
That's
state,
bullshit. I'm
Tom,
sorry. Now, this
Tom,
guy may be a sociopath, maybe a
I
child
love you,
rapist.
Tom.
I'm just telling you that arranging a marriage between a 16-year-old and a 27-year-old is not the same as pulling a stranger off the street and raping her.
You know what, in my brief experience, what gets women going is arguing with them.
Really?
Yeah. I never use it.
And then when he said, in my brief experience, what really gets women going is arguing with them. And it's like, the fact that you said that tells me that you really don't have that many experiences with women that don't involve you just spending a ton of money to have them around. Because, there's some women who, may find themselves in a lot of toxic situations where they're just arguing and stuff like that. But for the most part, no, if you argue with a woman, that's really going to turn her off. That's really not how to handle things with women. Arguing back and forth with a woman, you really can't win that. And if anything else, you just show them that they can get under your skin and that, this guy's going to blow up whenever I do this, or whenever I try to talk to him about this or that, or whenever I do X, Y, or Z, he's going to blow up and he's going to have an argument with me. That's really not the way to go. So again, like the fact that he said that really just goes to show that, again, if it ain't money in the picture, then women really ain't bothered with Tucker Carlson. I don't know nothing about his marital situation. I'm not speaking about that. But just in general, when it comes to like casual dating, the fact that he said that, nah, my man has no game whatsoever.
Well, I love women, but they're extremely primitive. They're basic. They're not that hard to understand.
This is the same guy who also was like, women should just shut up and be quiet and do what they're told. Like, again, women you pay for, like actually dealing with women in real life, because they're human beings and all that stuff. So you have to, take that into consideration when dealing with them. That's step one. But it just, again, this guy, everything he does is weird. Everything he does is creepy, whether it be that or whether it be him, screaming to the world every single night on Fox News that, all the white people are being replaced by all these brown Spanish speaking people. Oh no, look, Latinas, they're becoming the biggest minority group in the country. And if we aren't careful, they're going to replace all of us. I mean, this is the same. He's always doing weird, creepy mess like this. This is who he is. So, but I definitely thought that this was definitely funny to look at, because it's like, this guy is one of the most popular, most famous people in the country. He greatly influences elections. He has a lot of political influence. But this is who he is underneath it all. So, the more you know.